Guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So we have a massive data download. Every year the heroes data downloads are always the biggest of the year, especially since they started easing these heroes characters. I mean, we're if we just pull up the schedule here on Dokkan Info, it's like 18 characters deep, right? Like, it's huge. There's just so much coming. I mean, this hero celebration, it seems like it's going to be legitimately good with a major EZA, a Dokkan event, a burst mode, red zone stages. I think that there's another new punching bag type event that's coming. So, I mean, this hero celebration seems probably the best hero celebration we've ever had. And the character strength is actually good. I think the easy way to look at it, right? Heroes of 2022, the character strength for them was weak compared to a lot of what the rest of 2022 gave us. Whereas I think Heroes of 2023 is strong in comparison to what the rest of what we've gotten in 2023 is. Limit Breaker Vegito is going toe-to-toe with some of the better units in the game, right? So he's looking pretty good. All right, so we have promo movie, million cards. The Super Strike Xeno Trunks is getting his Awakening and EZA. I have not looked at him yet. We'll try and briefly go through a lot of these characters here. There are Super Trunks' Xeno Trunks' Super Strike. This Dokkan event is for Limit Breaker Vegito. Special event, I believe, is a punching bag event. New Super Battle Road stage is on JP. EZA area stage, that's for lags, right? We have 4 new red zone stages for the Heroes Red Zone. Only thing is, I at this point now, I love the red zone fights. Like fighting these villains and stuff like that. But I mean, we just have so many Saiyan characters sitting there from every arc, every saga, everything that they can make, and it's just all they do is pump out antagonists for red zones. Can we maybe get hero characters as fights? I'm just saying. Then we have burst mode as well, and then we have an EZA. This is for Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, Super Saiyan 4 Broly, those types of characters. And then the trade jewel, that is going to be pretty valuable if you're a paying player. Promo movie. Okay, so let's just try and quickly zoom through some of these characters. Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito is very simple. He is God for the first 6 turns, and if the rotation is full grade 8 power or crossover, I imagine his best setup would actually be on grade 8 power, probably cycling in LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta on a full grade 8 power team. But that's the thing about him. The one sort of downside a little bit is it needs to be full grade 8 power or crossover. I do not really consider that a problem, because I think both grade 8 power with him and EZA Super Saiyan 4 Vegito and then crossover are very competitive teams now, right? So it's he looks good. Strong, very, very strong character offensively and defensively. I was a little concerned potentially about the damage for the hero team, but I think because of this guy firing out potentially, 2 or 3 crits every turn, the damage will be good from this guy. So, certainly not. All right, so we have that. Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Broly. Again, let's just kind of get through this fast. He's ass. He's terrible. He does nothing. He has nothing. He is nothing. He's a loser. Super Saiyan 3 Rose. I like him. I've seen some pushback against Super Saiyan 3 Rose. I don't agree. He's powerful. You're not going to be rocking him in slot 1 typically most of the time, but if he is able to super attack, his defense is going to be really good because he's guarding on the crossover team, right? He'll be guarding. And it's just so you need 2 other crossover category allies besides him in order for him to be guarding. So you could potentially even, I don't know, run time travelers, and then you have him on there, maybe Hearts and Dark King Fu or something like that, and then you could have I don't know, Fusion Zamasu and LR Rose and shit. You could do that, right? So there's that. The thing that's really good though, when you transform with him, having one of these around is big. This guy is going to be, I think, one of the better options you could run versus Omega. Because he doesn't transform until turn 5, which is more suited towards the Omega fight. I mean, dude, characters that transform on turn 5, like, if we're talking about Dismal Future Red Zone, you're not going to see much of their transformations there. That's the thing, like, people will cope all day about Super Trunks, but regardless of anything, of how good Super Trunks is when he transforms, which he legitimately is that good, Super Trunks, but by the time you get there, the fight is done. Like, the fight is already wrapped up, so literally the entire time, you're in the shitty version of Trunks, right? Like, that's kind of a thing with Super Saiyan 3 Rose for the Dismal Future Red Zone fights, but I mean, Omega exists, which is longer. I would like characters that are good in both. Vegito is more geared, I think, towards Fusion Zamasu, whereas this guy is definitely more geared towards Omega, it seems to me. But I think with his healing and his guaranteed guard, he can be effective in these fights regardless. He should be pretty solid. Okay, so there's that. There's Super Saiyan 3 Rose, his transformation. The Berserk-controlled Vegeta. This guy, I think, is just very mid. Against one enemy, he is doing guaranteed crits, which, I mean, is something. I mean, he could put up a little bit of damage. But where this guy is going to be good is right here. It's when there's multiple enemies. He does a guaranteed additional super, and he has a high chance to dodge, which is nice. But he's just not very good. There's nothing special that he's doing right there. He's not very strong. We have the free-to-play Towa. Again, she's free-to-play. She's not exceptional or anything. She does create SCR key spheres, which could help out Dark King Fu if you're running him. She does support. She does have a little bit of dodge, but she does have low stats. I mean, she's probably what we would expect out of a free-to-play character, honestly. Next, we have Dark King Fu. Now, I think Dark King Fu has a pretty bad design, but I think he'll be able to work through it. I think it's like a good comparison for that would be like LR Carnival Kid Gohan has a horrible design. His design is terrible, but he's still a character that could be very effective and very powerful. Fu, depending upon your luck with the orbs, I think could be a similar thing. But there's going to be times where you're going to just get completely cucked. What helps Fu is he's a villain against all these villain bosses. That is just a huge asset right now. And it's like the only super class bosses they give us is like, you know, the anniversary event. I guess the Trunks from the Gods and Mortal event, sure. But we don't really have as many super class bosses as we do extreme class. So that, of course, helps a lot of these villain characters be a little bit more competitive in those fights. Fu does have support and stuff like that. He is a Big Bad Bosses character. Problem, I think, with Big Bad Bosses is I don't, like, there's him. I guess Modified Janemba does have Big Bad Bosses, right? But it's like, there's him, and then there's also Hearts that have it, right? Like, Super Saiyan 3 Rose did not get that. So we have Golden Metal Cooler and Modified Janemba. I think both are quite good. Modified Janemba here, he's probably going to be the next showcase we take a look at. It's going to be very simple with him. If you get those hits in on him quick, I think he potentially could be pretty interesting. He does have guaranteed guard for his first 5 turns, which I like. Again, right now, I would much rather characters are explosive and dominant for like the first 5 turns rather than like transforming on like turn 4 or turn 5 or turn 6 or something like that, right? Like that's why, like, I feel like I like the EGL Blue Vegito character much more than most people do, because people mentally are so caught up in Vegito Blue when Goku and Vegeta are one of the strongest slot 1 characters we have in the game right now for the first couple of turns while their intro is up, which matters. It matters. So, you know, this guy being good for the first couple of turns, Vegito, Hearts, again, is another Heroes character, right, where he's guarding, what is it, for the first 5 turns, right? Like, those are good things. So, we'll see with Modified Janemba, but I think Modified Janemba is another legitimate unit that we could be running, right? Where, you know, he's going to have potentially very big defense with guard. He could be pretty good, so we do like that. And then Golden Metal Cooler, I think, is going to be another decent character here, too, because he's just going to have a lot of damage reduction. So I think it's going to be easy to build a fairly effective team. Actually, I mean, if we have Super Saiyan 3 Rose, we have Golden Metal Cooler, we have Modified Janemba, hearts and food. Well, how good? I mean, is that? It feels tough to leave out Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, but could like that like beat Omega and Fusion Zamasu? Maybe. It would be tough dealing with like Fusion Zamasu's super attacks, of course. But like that, the team is competitive. I mean, Heroes. I mean, these are not bitches compared to what they were last year. Where, I mean, you know, it's like, yeah, like they're. I feel like these characters are just gonna work a lot better this year. This does not bother me either. Him being sealed below 20%, that's not a problem. I don't mind these characters being restricted to crossover either. I think what would be more concerning, I've said several times what hurts the 2022 batch so much, when you're restricted to Heroes Superclass or Heroes Extreme Class, that's where you're in trouble, I think. But if they let you just mix and match villains and heroes, you know, you could switch up your team based upon the fight that you're in, that is good. Like, we could work with that. The Xeno Super Strike Trunks. I have not looked at this guy's kit yet. Let's take a look what he looks like. I'm not expecting anything here, but we could see what he does. 100% stats. Against one enemy, he gets 3 key 100%. Okay. 2 enemies, he gets 150% defense. That's worthless, basically. If you're the only ally of justice category on the team, attack and defense increased by 100%. What is that? Crit is always activated, so you always crit? If you're not the only ally of justice category character, high chance of a scouter. And then he gets extra stats for each ally in the hero or like defender of justice category. It's what? All allies get 1 key. Oh, it's a support. So all allies get 1 key and then 7% attack and defense per like defender of justice ally on the rotation or like on the team. I'm explaining it poorly, but I'm not the biggest fan of chance to scouter. I don't like it, you know, if defender of justice is not exactly a crazy category. Like, I don't see why it's like, oh, you know, I am just not a fan of high chance to scouter. Because it's not like if you don't see the super, you have to assume it's just not working. Like I've found that to be a very unfun mechanic. I think, you know, just a heavily restricted scouter is better. And then when attacking villain enemies, he gets another 100% defense and a high chance to crit. I hate all these crits, man. I like all these crits on here. Like that's. They had it up on the wiki. Let's see how close it was. So 100%. Yep. We're facing 1 enemy. 150 defense facing 2 enemies. Yeah, crit when he's the only defender of justice ally. High chance of scouter. Then all allies key and stats per defender of justice category ally on the team. Okay. I mean, at least he's got stuff, right? Like, I don't know. It's not. Like he could have been way worse. A scouter and a support. I mean, for what is sort of a weak team, sure. I feel like when you're using this guy, you're probably not going to be the only defender of justice. Probably. A lot of these teams, like, you might end up, because remember, all of the Time Patrol characters are defenders of justice. Like Limit Breaker, Super Saiyan 4, Vegito, and stuff like that. They're all defender of justice. So I'm not sure about that part, but I do like the support. I just wish that the scouter was guaranteed. Why not just give him, I don't know, if the whole team is defender of justice, he gets scouter. Boom. That's not tough. Because defender of justice is not exactly a top tier team. So I feel like that's fair for a free-to-play character. And then he gets 30% defense on a super attack effect. Okay, sure. I mean, he's alright. I don't. He doesn't make me angry as a free to play character, right? Like, I'm not looking at him like, oh my god, what are they thinking? Nothing like that. There of course is the Super Strike event. Okay, cool. Yep, the Super Strike medals. We have a special event here. This is, you know, kind of just like a story event, fighting what Dark King Fu in there. Sure. So this is gonna be like a punching bag event. Let's see. Here's missions for Vegito's Dokkan event. They give you quite a lot, but you need a huge amount of these medals to awaken a lot of like you have to do a lot of runs to awaken all the characters. But these types of missions are always very, very good, right? Like grabbing all these is awesome. I mean, this is, you know what? This is like, is it 56? A lot of medals that we're able to get right there. We do appreciate that quite a bit. Okay, so then we also have got, what is this? Just some missions, clear stages, winning EZAs, just a lot of rewards, stuff like that. Awaken Towa, beat events with a Dragon Ball Hero team. Okay, sure. There's just more of these. I think this is the punching bag event right here. I can't imagine this is going to be very tough. I don't know. I bet you would be able to use the Super Strike Gotenks in this, man. Like, I bet they will work in this. You just rock the two Super Strike Gotenks together, and you probably could get this done just with them. This is the story event missions. Okay, sure. This is the EZA, right? You know, just get those EZA all the characters, and you're going to get some stones and some Zenny and stuff like that. Sure. And then here is the Heroes Red Zone as well. Yeah, there's 3 new stages to the Red Zone, so we'll see how that's going to be. Here, of course, is... Yeah, so there's going to be 5 stages. They all are on the same day. Yeah, they all come out tonight. Yeah, dude, there's so much content tonight. Holy hell. Wait. Oh, this one is for time travelers? And then next week, we have one for crossover. Okay. Then here's the Dokkan event, of course, against Olympic Super Saiyan 4 Vegito. Again, you're going to need to do this, 25 times to get all the medals you need or something like that. New Super Battle Road stage, Defender of Justice, really. The timing on that is pretty good. Now, this is going to be for JP only. Interesting timing there, okay. EZA area, this is against Lags right there, sure. Okay, sure. Here's the Red Zone against Lags, Golden Metal Cooler, and Hearts. Yeah, see, it's kind of a bummer, man. Like, I would like to fight, like, Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito in, like, a Red Zone type fight, right? Like, that could be fun. I don't know. There's the Burst Mode. And then, of course, we have the EZA with a bunch of characters here. So what do we have? Let's flip the 7. So 1, 2... No, there's 8. There's 8 characters at EZA from that. God damn. Yeah, it's a lot. Okay. All right, let's take a look. So again, we'll move quick. Demon Goddess Towa, I think she's just very good. She's got dodge. She's got a lot of support. She has a heal. The thing about her is, besides just this part of the buff being for only extreme class allies, she's unrestricted. So Demon Goddess Towa is a character. I mean, we could run, a time traveler, Peppy Gal, terrifying conqueror. Like, she's a terrifying conqueror's buff. She's not bad, Demon Goddess Towa. That's pretty good. Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, we could be very fast here. He's just good. You got to run him on a full crossover or Great Ape team, just like Limit Breaker Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, but I find him very effective. He has a high chance to nullify super attacks anyway, so all he really needs to be able to do is handle normals, and I think that this boy can do that, so he seems quite good to me. Super Saiyan 4 Broly, from what I saw, he is terrible at the start, but once you're, like, fully built up here, he can do a lot of damage and have, I would say, reasonable levels of defense. But, I mean, you guys know, I say I would much rather a character be at their peak right now, turn 1 to 5, than like, all right, we're on turn 5, now he's God. Like, I'll take the great turn 1 character over the transformations and bullshit and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I mean, the thing is, where this guy would be good, potentially, would be against Omega. But, I mean, he's tech. So, you're not running him against Omega. So, I will say this, and I don't mean this as an insult, But this guy legitimately will be great for the burst mode. He's gonna be good for the burst mode. I'm not clowning him when I say that, but he's legitimately gonna be good for the burst mode, man. He will. Oh, I have not actually read this guy's kit. 140% of stats, 70% when super attack is activated. Okay. Extreme class allies, 4 key, 40% defense attack. Hello? We can give him attack. 30% attack in events of debuff. Okay, I mean, that's really strong, but, I mean, that's Super Battle Road content. 20% attack for each ally on the crossover team, and then own defense by 10% for each extreme oh, he's stabby. No. No. Yeah, you are a stinker. He gets 50% right there, which is good, but, yeah, this is a stinker, for sure. Poor Demigra, man. Demon Demigra. Not looking too hot here. If we're going to use him for, like, a Super Battle Road fight, like, this is strong. Make no mistake about that. But this does not help in Red Zone fights or Omega or the Anniversary event or, you know, the Gods and Mortals event, right? So, yeah, he seems like a stinker. Black Mass Saiyan, this guy could be good. I haven't looked at Black Mass Saiyan either. 3 key, 160% stats when attacking. When there's 3 or more allies in the crossover category on your team, you get another 120% of stats. Guaranteed additional with a high chance to super and a high chance to crit. And then if there's a Goku enemy, he always crits. That's it? Oh, yeah, no, man. What? No. 30% right there, lowers attack and... Oh, yeah, you suck. What the hell? Are you serious? Alright, dude. Yeah, he's ass. No. Dark Mask King. Okay. Now this, again, is another good one we're looking at right here. 2 key, 150% of stats. 150% defense for 5 turns after being attacked. I like that lasts so long. 1 hit, and then it's up for quite a while. 50% attack each time he gets hit, up to 150%. If there is a Dragon Ball Hero category ally in the attack beside yourself, 100% defense and guard, and then 10% HP of damage dealt. I think he's quite good. I think that's going to be very good. His restriction is 1 Hero's ally. Just 1. So let's just glance at his teams. Pure Saiyan, Vegeta family, Corroded Body and Mind, Time Traveler, what is that? The Storied Figures he's on? Okay. Crossover, and then Dragon Ball Heroes. Right? This is Storied Figures? It is, yeah. So, on these teams, he can be effective with just 1 Dragon Ball Hero ally next to him. So, I mean, that's not bad. If that's the restriction they're gonna give a goddamn Heroes character, we could live with that. And this guy probably could be slot 1, even against characters potentially like Fusion Zamasu and stuff like that. Because, I mean, he is an EZA character. He's at almost 11,000 defense. That's solid. We'll take that for sure. I mean, when this is up, he's going to be looking good. No doubt about it. This right here. And he gets 30% defense right there and greatly lowers enemy attack and defense. Seems good. The HP regen could probably be pretty good as well. Yeah, he seems fine. I like Dark Mask King. Okay, Super Mira. Remember, this guy's a stacker, so maybe good for Omega. Let's see. 200% attack, 100% defense, and disable enemy guard, worthless. 50% attack and defense on super attack, okay. If all allies on the turn are Dragon Ball Hero category, you get +2 key. Oh, an additional, guaranteed additional super. Okay, that's good. Minus 30% attack and defense of the attacked enemy for 2 turns. Good for Super Battle Road. If the attacked enemy has lowered attack or defense, he gets an extra 100% attack and a high chance to crit. And he's probably not going to be very good. And then he greatly stacks defense and then gets 50% attack for 1 turn. I mean, they just gave him an actual, just guaranteed additional super. That's a W for sure. I don't know, though. I mean, we'll see. I'm going to use this guy to check first. I'm not super sure. I think because I want to see, like, if he gets, like, 3 super attacks, what is his defense going to look like? But, I mean, it's not... I mean, he's good if after 3 super attacks, he's at, 900k defense. But is he going to be? No. So, all right, yeah. Xeno... I do not have high expectations for Xeno Dabura. Okay, 3 key, 150% of stats, okay. He gets another 150% attack defense against 1 enemy. Okay, fine. Guaranteed additional and a high chance of a super... I think against 1 enemy as well, right? And then reduce the attacked enemy's attack and defense by 35% for 2 turns. Good for, like, a Super Battle Road stage. If the opponent's is attack down or defensive down, you get another 150% attack. Okay. And then when there's 2 or more enemies, 100% attack, 200% defense, high chance to dodge. And for each enemy after the 3rd, 50% attack and 10% damage reduction. What? If we're going against, like, 5 enemies, he's really good. Okay. Xeno Dabura is a Super Battle Road character. Like, he's not... Like, this guy's not... You're not going to get help from him in, like, Red Zone and shit like that. But I would say this. He has a cohesive design. I will give him points for that. It makes sense what he's doing. It's just you have to understand this is not a Red Zone character. This is not a Fusions and Masu character. Not no Mega character. This guy is for... he's on Sibling Bond, Time Traveler, Dragon Ball Seeker, Terrifying Conquer, Crossover, Dragon Ball Hero. One of those teams, Super Battle Road stages, is where you want to use Xeno Dabura. That's what his role is. I don't mind this if they really lean into it, which they did. They made everything towards what this is fine. Again, he's not great. But I would say he has a good design, right? He's kind of like the opposite of Fu for me, where I think, like, Fu is probably going to end up turning pretty good, but his design is terrible, where I think Dabura is probably going to more so be not so good, but his design is very good, I would say. I think they're the opposite of each other in that way. Okay, so there's those EZA characters, and I think we've reached the end at this point. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just medals and stuff like that. Remember, there's going to be the Lags medals, all these characters' medals. And then, of course, here's also the stone. Remember that there is going to be multiple banners as well coming, right? We're going to be getting an EZA banner and the actual major banner itself. The Hero Celebration seems pretty good. Now, I'm going to tell you guys this. I do think summoning for the Heroes characters could be a decent idea this year. Now, let me just quickly break it down real quick before we finish up. I probably should do a video on the Celebration info as well. We probably will do that, but... okay. The Heroes characters this year seem quite competitive. I think, you jump into the banner, which is going to be guaranteed featured SSR. Right, you get a couple copies of Limit Breaker Vegito, you get, like, Super Saiyan 3 Rose. If you could grab, regular Super Saiyan 4 Vegito, some of these characters, like, you could build a very competitive team pretty easily just from these banners. Now, in years past, the Heroes team typically does get power crept super fast, right? Anniversary. Because JP Anniversary is in 2 months. And keep in mind that Global is going to be synced soon. Soon enough, Global is going to be on the exact same schedule as JP, which means Global players are going to have to adapt to the fact that these Heroes characters are going to get power crept in 2 months. But, I mean, I don't know specifically how it's going to work this year, because we literally just got major event power creep. Are they really going to power creep events again for Anniversary? Probably, but man, that's just going to be so fast. It's going to be tough. I mean, I guess they did the same thing last year, right, with Cell Max, like around Worldwide Download Celebration time, and then, we got Sin for Anniversary. It's probably going to be a similar thing here. So keep that in mind. Right now, the Heroes characters, I mean, they're going, like, Vegito is just outright better than every other TUR this year outside of what I call, like, the Golden 3. Piccolo Jr., God Goku, 23rd World Tournament Goku. Right, I would put them above Vegito. But Vegito is better than the 17s, Kale, Super Trunks, Gohan and Piccolo, Turles, like all of these regular, non-major celebration TURs this year. Vegito is better, right? And it's a lot of these Heroes characters are just going to feel a lot better than these Dokkan Fest TURs we've gotten this year. It's crazy. So it's like, if you're a global player, are you gonna save for like loser Trunks, Super Trunks, who's terrible the entire fight, and then he becomes God at the end when the boss has half of one health bar left? Like, you know, or Vegito, who is God the second the fight starts, and he is actually a major factor in you winning compared to Trunks getting carried to a win, and then people pretend that he's good. God damn it. So I don't know. I would say summoning here could be pretty safe, especially as a global player, right? Because I do think global is probably still next year in 2024 going to be getting anniversary in July. If you're a JP player, I mean, we know what to expect with these heroes characters. 2022 they sucked. This year they're very good, but there's a good chance we're gonna get, like usual, you know, 9th anniversary is gonna get the new power creep, you know, the new difficult events, and the heroes characters could fall down several levels. So, I mean, we will see. If you're a global player, though, I mean, you can summon for these guys, and they're going to be effective for quite a while. I mean, unless, like, Golden Week has new difficult content or Saiyan Day, like, you know, global, the event difficulty right now is probably going to be the same on global until July, probably. And then that's when then global gets spammed, right, with the worldwide difficult events and then anniversary, all this pretty much same time. So, let me know what you guys think about the Dragon Ball Heroes data download. Massive amounts of characters, content. This celebration seems really, really, really good.